Hello and welcome to the Entre Nous. Today I have the pleasure of speaking with Michelle Zou. I'm so sorry, Michelle,
Michelle
your
Zou.
surname.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. A researcher, well-being professional, and developer coordinator at the Happiness Study Academy. Michelle is currently pursuing her PhD in happiness study focusing on human flourishing, transformation, and growth. Her work bridges East and West as she works between USA and China, bringing a unique cross cultural perspective to happiness and leadership. She is also the creator of a powerful board game designed to cultivate growth mindset, and her mission is clear to help people expand their inner world and reconnect with their true potential. Michelle, welcome to the Entre Nous. It is a joy to have you here.
Thank you, Laura. I'm very excited to be here with you and with your audience.
Michelle, before we begin with the questions, I would love for you to briefly share your career journey with us.
Sure. Well, very briefly, for all these 30 years. So I grew up in China. As you said, I spent my
Yeah.
time in USA and China. Yes, I grew up in China and I came to the US in the late 90s to pursue my MBA. At that time, I was a young professional. And then I live in the US. Now I live in Seattle. So my career in a nutshell, the first 20 years, I was in corporate. And that's mostly focused in the tech industry. Then the past 10 years, I have my own business. I do consulting, coaching, and training. My clients are, one of my clients was my previous employer, which is Microsoft. So
Ah,
yeah, that's what I've been doing and applying what I learned from Happiness Studies Academy of the Science of Happiness to my work. So that's what I do these days.
wonderful. And your PhD journey in the happiness study is deeply meaningful. How has this shaped your understanding of fulfillment and purpose?
Yeah, my PhD in happiness studies is really focusing on workplace well-being.
Mhm.
That's, as you know, my background, right? 20 years in the
Yeah,
corporate first, then working for corporate clients, consulting, coaching,
exactly.
and training. So uh, I, I am very deeply um, connected and care about when people come to work, how you feel, how you
Exactly.
can fulfill your potential by spending so much of our weekend time, right? A good quality
Yeah.
time at work. And that also connects back to how we feel about our purpose of our life. So, with that focus, I started my PhD with Dr. Tobin Shahar, where I learned all this science of happiness through so many
Yeah.
years. And I want to really help companies, business, and executives to think about how can we consider the work environment and the policies, the systems, the way how we treat people to create a place where people can come to work. They feel they are respected. They feel very good about themselves. So they can bring their
Exactly.
best self come
Mhm.
here. And when people feel good, physically and mentally, they will be more creative. They will do really, really good work. Their
Mhm.
performance will be naturally good. And then,
Exactly.
yeah, that will bring good results for the company. Because I was a um, business leader before I started my own consulting firm. So I know at the end, the company, the business wants to survive, continue, and grow, that we need to consider the bottom line. So I think this is just very logically starting from people. and take
Hmm.
care of them, and they will do well, do good, and then the company will do well.
Exactly. That's the formula, right?
Yeah, that's the formula.
That's the formula.
But I want to just emphasize a lot of times I mean, the business schools and because I came to the US many years ago for my MBA, right?
Yeah.
A lot of times business people are educated that we
Mhm.
should focus on the profit first,
Yes.
right? And then
The
from
people.
that, then your
Yeah.
behavior, a lot of things will be different if you focus on people first. So,
Exactly. Perfect. You live and work between two cultures.
yeah.
What have you learned about conscious leadership and community building?
Well, I think the first thing I want to say, people are people. There's
Yes.
lots of commonality, right?
Yes.
it's the it's A lot of things are the same at the bottom. No matter we speak a different language, we look differently, and we
Mhm.
eat different kind of, or we prefer different kind of food. But at the bottom, a lot of things are the same. So for me, I think starting with the root, with the foundations, the fundamental things of a human being. And then we look at, okay, how do we lead people? How do we build a community so people feel they're belonging to this community, and then they feel the psychological safety, in this community, no matter it's work or it's their life community,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
then they would be able to be themselves, and then the nature, all these good things of human nature will just show and come out very naturally, and
Mhm.
then people will be able to collaborate, work together, and support each other. So that's the fundamental thing. And
Mhm.
of course there are some differences because different culture, you grow up in different way, and there's some philosophical differences. For example, in the Eastern culture, a lot of times we put collective benefits first, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
in the US, where I live, individualism is a
Exactly.
bigger.
Yes.
So if I translate this into workplace, the message is very different. For example, in China or in the Eastern culture, a lot of times, at least when I grew up, we were educated. Well, let's first think about what the collective needs or the collective
Mhm.
benefits are, and put that first, which means you don't take care of yourself first. You even don't take care of your family first,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
If some member in your family is sick, but you
Mhm.
have to go on a business trip for the company, then you need to go. So that
Exactly.
was
Yes.
that was the philosophy there. But in the US, here what I learned is, at least from the company I worked for, I worked
Mhm.
in before, right? So we really emphasize about, well, think about how you can take care of yourself, how
Mhm.
you can come in a way that you're energetic, your family is very important. So we got this kind of messages that when we have to leave earlier to take care
Mhm.
of my kids, to
Yes.
take them up
Yeah.
from school for their
Yeah.
sports activity, it's totally okay. So that's a
A little
big
bit of
difference.
the difference.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Big
very
difference.
interesting. Yeah, when
Yeah.
we dig into this.
As a developer coordinator at HSA, what have you learned about conscious leadership and community building?
Well, at HSA, I'm one of the starting members. We call it HSA Alumni and Business Club. So
Yeah.
I started when I was a student at HSA, which HSA is founded by Dr. Tobin Shahar, right?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
I studied the certificate course, graduated in 2019. Um, but the studying process at that time was lonely. It's online, self-paced. So
Hmm.
I really, really wanted to have a community to talk with people and exchange ideas, work together with people like me.
Yeah.
So our when one of the students from HSA, Tammy,
Tammy,
she
yeah.
yes,
I interview her too. Yeah, yeah,
great,
Tammy.
great. Yeah, when she talked about this idea in one of her Tall's weekly webinar
Hmm.
of starting a club, then I raised my hand, right? So that's how I joined her and the other 20 plus members. We
Hmm.
started the club. And in the club, the main focus I have was to really focus on building the community.
Hmm.
And I think the beauty of my international background, Eastern, Western, and
Yes.
travel
Uh-huh.
internationally all the time, uh, is really a privilege and also a advantage that I at least I have quite some knowledge about different cultures.
Yes.
So when we build the community, I apply this strength and also, of course, the many other things I've learned through my career, through all this
Yeah.
journey of growing, to help build a community where we have our values. We define the values.
Hmm.
Diversity and inclusion, by the way, is one of a
Yeah.
very important part of what we value about in this club, in this community. So I really, really enjoy that bringing and supporting people from worldwide. By the way, now HSA has students from over 100 countries. So
Yes.
yeah, that's so
It's
exciting.
amazing. Yeah. Yeah.
Right,
All
right.
over the place.
Yeah. So I work with a group of volunteers. We create programs to bring people together and support each other and create this environment where we apply what we learn, right?
Yeah.
So everybody feel respected, feel heard, feel that it's a safe place. We can be ourselves and we are supporting each other. And we are all belonging to this community. So we create programs that support the values we want to create. And people can have opportunities to communicate with each other online or offline. And
Yeah.
have a way to really express themselves and to support each other. So that's the community we're building.
Yeah, and we share not only share, like communicate through each other, but we share our work, our thinking, anything, it's amazing because I participate and I don't know how many, because we have so many groups, but it's wonderful. Even to write a book, you learn with Steph how to write a book, and you have even a mindfulness group, you have a yoga laugh or something like that group. It's just amazing to have that community, and
Yeah,
it's
and
amazing the
talking
work
about
that you do.
right, right, and talking about the leadership, you mentioned right. You asked about the conscious leadership. I
Yeah.
think the previous training through all these 20 plus years in corporate, and then being a trainer who teaches
Yeah.
leadership is really helpful in my role when I'm contributing to the club.
Mhm.
But I would say beyond that, I would say everybody is a leader,
Yeah.
right? We all can we are um, we, all of us we can lead
Hmm.
by first show up and by respecting the values, holding the
Yeah.
values, and by thinking about how can I support others.
Exactly.
So yeah, I think that's the key message when I coach people. no matter what level they are. I coach from, some people are executives, some people are middle level managers, and occasionally I also have earlier stage professionals there, right? And
Yeah.
leadership is always one of the big important topic here. I think a lot of times people say, oh, I'm not a people manager. I never managed people. I'm not a
Mhm.
leader. So the message here I want to help people to think about is, well, we can be leaders. We are leaders.
Yeah.
Of course, you can define leadership in a different way, but here, the leadership here is how do we influence others? We
Exactly.
influence each other, no
Hmm.
matter formally or informally.
Yes.
So
Yes.
we can all be leaders and show up in a way that positively influence others.
Michelle, you created a board game to cultivate growth mindset. What transformation surprised you the most when people play it?
Well, before we say that, I want to just tell you a little bit about why I create a board game.
Yeah.
Um, I have been a corporate trainer in the past more than 10 years, 12 years now. So I do a lot of training worldwide. And there are many different types of training. Some types is more like lectures, right? It's kind of boring
Yeah.
because you talk a lot as a trainer, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
then many types I do are workshops where
Mhm.
we get people to work, and we
Yes.
will have a concept or framework, some tools and methodologies. Then people work, they engage a lot. So I love that kind of training. And growth mindset is a concept that started by Dr. Carol Dweck from Stanford. And I learned about it when I was a manager at Microsoft. And the concept is easy to understand, right?
Mhm.
When you so people have two categories of mindset. One category of people focus more on growing and believe
Mhm.
your intelligence your capabilities can change if you learn and grow it and practice, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So the concept is easy, but how do you apply it?
Hmm.
That's the part I want to focus on in workshops. So the Microsoft workshops are really fun. We have a lot of ways of doing that. And first, in Microsoft developed a board game, and I use that board game to deliver training. And Microsoft also have many other types of games. Some are online digital, some are
Hmm.
you hands-on, right? You need to sit together. Then those are the classes really being welcomed by many people. Um, uh, then when I'm doing the training for a different group of audience, that's where it comes to my mind of, okay, because I am a coach, right? I think,
Yeah.
well, how can I use a game that not only people understand the concept, but also they can help each other. They can
Hmm.
do the peer coaching when they
Yes.
are together, taking the training, playing a game. So
Uh-huh.
that's where I invented my own game, which my growth mindset board game really heavily integrate coaching into the process, into the learning process, where people will identify a scenario. It can be their own scenario or it can
Hmm.
be a scenario from the game. Then they will identify, okay, what kind of a mindset this might be. They can debate on it. And then if it's a fixed mindset, which people believe things cannot change, your brain, your capability won't change, right? Efforts is uh, making efforts, it just shows that you are not so smart, right?
Yeah.
So when it's a scenario, people think, oh, this is a fixed mindset kind of scenario. Then other players can use coaching questions, which I make those cards, right? They can use
Mhm.
those coach questions and to do the peer coaching to the player who has a fixed mindset scenario. So they can ask those questions one by one, and the player can answer the question. So that's where I really just bring my professional training and
Yeah.
my knowledge and the things that I think will work and can help people in a more practical way into a game, so that when people play the game, it's not just on the on this one level of awareness. It's
Mhm.
a deeper level where they really really support each other, and the game is really welcomed by people, by um, employees, professionals
Mhm.
when they play it, and they open up a lot
Oh,
during this game because this kind of support from each other by
exactly.
answering the questions, by thinking deeply, reflecting on that, right?
Mhm.
Really, really help them to bring a concept into practice, into something, right, that deeply connects to them, where they can take actions really during the game and after the game.
And Michelle, that game you use it only when you are training, when you're coaching, or right? You don't have that game someplace else, if we can say like that. Only
Well,
you use it.
yes, the let's put this way. The game, the purpose of the game started from training. So I
Mhm.
developed the game with the idea of people like me who are trainers,
Mhm.
who wants to teach growth mindset in a way that can generate actions. It
Mhm.
can use it. That's how I started. So many trainers are using it now. And
Ah.
then when I deliver trainings, sometimes the executives, the managers of a business, of a company, they want to have it. They ask me, well, Michelle, can I have it? Can I
Okay.
do this with my team? Right? We won't be able to always have you come here, but can you do
Mhm.
the trainer so that I can play with my team? And we can use this for our team building activities, and we
Yes.
can use this for many situations. And we also want the coaching questions, right? As a manager, they want the question cards. It's a
Yeah.
stack of cards with questions. And there are many fun ways to use it. By the way, the game, I also combined phototherapy into it. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, so people can take a photo where
Yes.
they through that photo they can help them to think about a scenario or a situation, just
Yeah.
open up more conversations. So there are many different things there. So that part I team up with another company, use their IP, intellectual property, their photos to combine here. So I do have some managers. They buy the game to play
Mhm.
internally with their teams.
Wonderful. You use the same method of the pictures from point of view?
Yes, it's the same methodology. I
Yeah.
am a point of view certified business trainer.
Ah, you too, you are also.
Yeah. I
Wonderful.
use point of
Yeah.
view a lot, but for the growth mindset board game, I work with another company
Ah, okay.
where they have it's similar, right? The phototherapy. I think there are
Yeah.
multiple companies producing those,
Mhm.
and we have agreement to use their IP for this, and the every set of the game, so
Yeah.
they have a share for their IP. Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
and I hope more people will use it,
Yes,
especially if
of
you're
course.
doing training,
It
coaching,
sounds,
managers. Yeah, use it
yes.
to help your team to develop a growth mindset.
Yes. I am sure it does because we tend to be more, like you said, we open up more when we are, like in a fun stage than when we sit and we listen to somebody and we are just, after a while we just stop listening. But when we are playing and we are, asking questions and interactive, right? That's a very nice, very, it becomes a very nice training.
Yeah, and I think the key thing here is because the scenarios people when they play, they think it's very relate to themselves, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
The scenarios are those scenarios I met through my so many years, 30 years work
Yeah.
experience, and especially as a manager and then as a consultant, as a coach, trainer, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of those scenarios are very related to people. And
Hmm.
the beauty is when people start playing a game, first they use the scenarios, and very soon they start to say, okay, I have my own scenarios, right? They can just
Yeah.
use their own scenarios. So they start to bring their real situation
Yeah.
into this play with their peers, and they share the situation or something they are facing. And then other players will use the coaching cards to
Yeah.
start to give give their
Yeah. Yeah.
questions, which the person who brings their own real scenarios will use their peers as a way
Yeah.
to to share, to talk, and reflect, and bounce ideas. So I think it's a the game is a way to start this conversation.
Hmm.
Um, it's it's the kind of atmosphere we create, right? Of course, in
Hmm.
the beginning, we will talk a little bit about psychological safety, the
Hmm.
rules, the ground rules, where you can really create this kind of environment where
Hmm.
people are willing to open up and support each other.
Exactly. From your research, Michelle, and personal experience, what is the biggest inner block that keeps people from thriving?
Um, yeah, I'm still in the very early stage of doing these type of workplace well-being research, and it's different by different company because every company has their own culture.
Yeah.
And if we look at, I'm working with one large company in China now to to do research, and for example, many of the interviews and the surveys we got is from people there is, well, one of the biggest issue they're facing is they don't have enough time to recover. They work
Okay.
so
Yeah.
hard,
Yeah.
yeah, and they don't have enough time to sleep,
Yeah.
to exercise,
Exactly.
yeah, eating healthy food. So they feel very stressed,
Hmm.
mentally and physically. So that's
Yeah.
a situation from the survey we see from one company. And
Mhm.
another company I work with, their situation could be, well, again, maybe not the whole company, the team I work with, their situation is more on the leadership side, right? My relationship with my boss, that
Mhm.
impacts them heavily. That
Yes.
impacts how people feel at work, and
Mhm.
the stress level they get. So that's that situation where we
Mhm.
can also have some ways to help the leader to change the mindset, to change the way how they want to lead. So
Yeah.
it's different in different situation. I believe there's a bigger level of research from other places that they have more, they have a lot more, um, a bigger base of surveys where they probably have other things they discovered. So
Yeah.
yeah, for my own research, that's what I have seen at this moment.
How do you define success today compared to earlier stages of your life?
Yeah, I love this question. I think like many people, young people, right? The success definition when I was young was okay, I want to climb the corporate ladder. I want to
Yeah.
become a big boss,
Yeah.
executive, right? I want to travel all over the world, in business class, first class, all these kind of
Yeah.
things, right?
Yeah.
I want to
Yeah.
have a big house, all this stuff. So that was when I was young, and that was the reason why I in my 20s, I came from China to US for my MBA
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I was working for an American company, a very big company, a very well-known company. I was a small manager, have a small team, and I was thinking, okay, how can I climb faster? How can I
Yeah.
become a
Yeah.
big boss? How can I become the maybe someday country manager for this company?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I at that time I decided, okay, I need to get an MBA from US.
Yes.
So, and yeah, in my first, I would say first at least 15 years in the corporate, I worked towards that goal. Even in the last, maybe the first 20 years I was working towards that goal, I was relatively successful. Um, uh, and then I felt that's too slow for me. Was
Yeah.
not enough,
Okay.
right? In big
Yeah.
companies, right? Level by level growth is too slow. So I decided, okay, I want to start my own company. I want to be a boss. And I
Yeah.
created a pretty aggressive business plan and started my own consulting firm. Um, but that was not easy.
Yeah, of
So
course.
the plan didn't go as I planned. It didn't grow big. It was okay, but it wasn't like my 5 year plan I
Mhm.
created when I before I started.
Yeah.
Then in that time when I was running my own business and the business was growing, we had a few people, and I was traveling internationally nonstop. I remember 1 year I went to China and Asia uh, 10 times from Seattle. It's like always
Yeah.
not home, right? And so that then something happened at my home. My older son, he was a teenager in high school, and I wasn't home most of the time. So when I came back home, right, I tried to educate him, try to push him, and anyway, so there's a lot of conflicts that happen at home, and that's
Hmm.
where I started to think, oh, what am I doing to myself,
Yeah.
right? Is this
Yes.
what I want as the success, as the goal I was pursuing, right? Because it was really painful. That's where I paused and I started to think, okay, how can I fix it? So first I tried to fix my son, which didn't work and caused a lot more pain. Then
Yeah.
I said, okay, um, how can I help myself? That's where when I see the email about happiness studies
Hmm.
in 2018, that's when it clicked, and I joined HSA to become a student to learn happiness, how we can. And the first thing, by the way, the first thing I learned, which really resonates with me, it's like a wake up call, was talk about what's the ultimate goal,
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
for our life.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
the ultimate goal is happiness, live a happier life.
Exactly.
Yeah, versus having this, having that, the title, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that resonates with me, and that's how I started to change, and it works so well. So first, my relationship with my son, the one we had a lot of conflicts, is so
Yeah.
good, right? I am so happy. My family, everybody, the four of us, we are really happy. Um, so that really gave me the foundation, right? I don't worry, don't having all this anxious back,
Yeah.
and And I also changed my direction of my business from doing those, helping. When I
Mm-hmm.
started consulting, was really helping companies to grow their business globally. I changed that to, well, how can we help to grow people? How can we
Exactly.
help um, people to fulfill their potential? And how can we help organizations to fulfill their potential? So through become happier,
Exactly.
applying what we learn, we will be happier and more successful.
Exactly. Having happier people at work, right?
Yes,
Also,
right.
very
Yeah.
important. And Michelle, what daily practices or rituals help you stay centered and connected to yourself?
Uh, I have a habit which developed when I'm studying um, the happiness studies courses. Uh, the first thing I do in the morning is when I get up, I would go out.
Mhm.
Yeah. Um, so get out as soon as I can, expose myself to the natural light.
Yes.
In Seattle, we don't have sunshine all the time. If you have sunshine in your place, yes, that's best, right? So
Yeah.
no matter if we have sunshine or not, I go out. Um,
Hmm.
with the natural light, it helps me wake up my body,
Hmm.
my brain, and it also helps me have better sleep. That's science proved. There's lots of evidence on that. And I
Yes.
walk. I walk. I walk in my neighborhood where we have a trail. We have two trails. One is on a hill, and the other is by the river. So I just pick whichever I want. So I walk in nature. And when I do my walking, I would spend a few minutes to do walking meditation.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
So
amazing.
that's walking. So for me, walking, right, waking up as well
Mhm.
as exercise, because I one of the exercise I do is a fast walk. But the
Mhm.
walking meditation is a slow walk, where when
Mhm.
I walk, you know this, Laura. We all learn
Yeah.
this, right?
Yeah.
So when I walk, I would slow down. I would really pay attention to how my feet feel on
Yes.
the ground, right?
Yeah.
For maybe a minute, yes, or
Mhm.
30 seconds of that. Then I will switch to a different sensor.
Mhm.
For example, I will notice the air coming to me. The air now it's winter, it's very cold, right? I can feel the cold
Mhm.
air on my face, and the cold air I breathe in and then breathe out. It becomes warmer. And
Yeah.
then after another maybe 30 seconds or 1 minute, I will switch to another sensor. For example, I use my visual and I will really notice what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
Then I change to my hearing, right? I really, really notice what I'm hearing. Birds and all kinds of things, and a car from distance.
Yes.
I will notice so many different things.
Yeah.
It's just so beautiful. Just a few minutes, because I still need to do my fast walk
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
to do the exercise. But that's so beautiful. That's one of the routines I do every day. Yeah, I love it.
It is amazing all the things that we discover when we pay attention.
Exactly.
When we pay attention, when we close our eyes, when we hear, when we pay attention and we start listening to all of these noises, that we don't realize they are there. You start hearing a dog barking far
Yes.
away. I do the same thing as you do because I exercise my hearing, and I said I'm going to see how far can
Mhm.
I hear, and it's amazing when you pay attention and you are just there breathing and paying attention to everything, all the sounds, not noise, the sounds that you can. you know, um, you can hear. And also, when you're walking, like you said, when you make conscious walking, you know, what's the first thing that comes into the ground? Which part of my feet, you know, how do I walk? Because sometimes we are walking like this because we
Mm.
are stressed and we don't pay attention and we release. Then we, you know, no, it's walking meditation. It's
Yeah, and for
very
me,
helpful.
yeah, for me, walking, I do at least the 2 walks every
Yeah.
day. It's really relaxing.
Mm-hmm.
It's I do some exercises through faster walking and
Yeah.
then some walking meditation and some just walking and I can think about things or I can listen to podcasts, all kinds of things, right? It's very
Yes.
relaxing and it's also my way of release stress. So when I
Mm-hmm.
feel very emotional, when I feel very stressful, when I don't feel well, I go out walk, and I keep on having those debates in my brain, right? The
Yes,
truth.
yes, yes.
And when
Uh-huh.
I walk after a little while, right, walking in nature,
Mhm.
those voices start to quiet down,
Yeah.
and then I will have a different perspective. And sometimes I say, okay, let me don't think about it for a while, right? Because they were like debating and
With
so
that.
noisy.
Yeah.
Then I say, okay, I will walk and I will just leave it aside for a little while. But unconsciously they're still debating, right? Then sometimes when I'm walking after 20 minutes or whatever, right? I changed my body, changed the environment, and started, notice other things. Then sometimes there's a different perspective just show
Yeah,
up in my brain.
completely.
So
Hmm.
that's one of my secret of handling my emotions, um, of really releasing anxiety or stress, right?
Hmm.
So that's really, really helpful. So that's one. And another practice I do every day is um, through my course, it's required. I do
Yes.
meditation.
Yes, of course.
So no matter my MA in happiness studies or the PhD in happiness studies, every day we have assignments to do meditation. So I do
Yes.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
To it's good to keep me on the track of doing the meditation. That one can be sit down or lie down. I really like
Yeah.
lie down meditation. That's yeah. I feel sit down. It's not a fully relaxed. Lie down is really
Yeah.
good. Also, I meditate in the night when I go to sleep. Ready to sleep on the bed, right? I like one of the videos. It's more audio from YouTube. Is
Yeah.
Yoga Ninja, Nidra, for sleep, and one of those is 30 minutes long.
Mhm.
I really like it. Uh, it's really helping me to get to deep sleep very quickly. So every night I turn on that, and maybe after 10-15 minutes I was really sleeping. I usually won't be able to hear the rest of it. I said it's 30 minutes long. I probably
Yeah.
only hear the first 15 minutes. I was already sleeping. So that's another one I like very much. So meditation definitely something I do every day as a practice.
Oh, that's
And of course,
amazing.
there are
I
some
know.
more, but I mentioned
The
some
most
I do
important ones,
consistently.
yeah, no, meditation is a must. It's the same for me. When I don't have time, I can meditate. Maybe I have meditations of 2.5 minutes. I said, I don't have time, but at least I will, connect with the present, being here, and then I will be able to start my day.
Mhm.
2 minutes, and I also have the practice of meditate every single day. And
Yeah,
when I don't
meditation.
have time, even 2 minutes, it helps
Yeah,
me.
2 minutes or even 30 seconds, right? Just
Yeah,
or five breaths. That's
yeah.
many
Or
types of
six.
meditation. Yeah,
You inhale in four and you exhale in six,
right.
and and then you're ready. You're
Yeah.
ready to go and start your day.
Right, right. So it's really good. I think through the day, yeah, even when I'm sometimes when I'm cooking, right? Just we learn this the mindfulness, right?
Yes, the mindfulness. Yeah.
Yeah, when I'm cutting the vegetable, right? Oh, mindfulness. Okay, really pay
Yeah.
attention versus
Pay
listening to
attention.
another podcast. So there are times that I remember, okay, through the day, okay, let me be more mindfulness. One good thing that I think through the course I've changed is I used to when I'm eating, right? I used to watching the monitor
Mm-hmm.
or listening to podcasts.
Hmm.
Now I purposely, not every meal, but most of the meals when I'm eating, if by
Hmm.
myself, when nobody's home, I purposely just to focus on my food. Yeah,
Hmm.
I think uh, allow myself a little bit of downtime versus trying to put all this information into my brain at every minute, right? So that's also a really useful thing. Everybody can start right now.
Yeah, in one of my training, they taught us, well, they ask us to eat in silence without talking, and just pay attention. And it's amazing what you discover in your plate, the colors, you know, when you pay attention, the taste,
Mhm.
and you are concentrated on your food, and you really, really appreciate what you're doing because, you are paying attention. You are mindfulness of what you're doing. Because sometimes we just eat, 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 and then after you say, in
Yeah,
one one how did I finish?
right.
Because you
People
you
don't
didn't pay
remember.
attention. Yeah.
Yeah, people don't remember what they eat. Uh,
Yeah.
that's one thing I noticed. Um, Everywhere I go, I travel a lot, and my kids, right? I have one son in college, come back home, and when he eats, his phone is out, right? He's like doing things on the phone and eating.
Hmm.
So now the young people, everywhere I go, I see that, right? They
Yeah.
always have their phone there, and when they eat or when they do something, it's always like a multitasking. So
Yeah.
I told my son, well, at least, right, when you are eating, can you just focus on your food? Or when I'm here, right, when mom is here, when we are here
Yeah.
together, can we all leave our phone aside? Can we just be focusing on our meal together as a
Exactly.
family? Yeah, right. We can talk. That's
Yes.
versus you're on your phone. I feel not very respected if I'm sitting
Exactly.
here with you at the dinner table and you are looking at your phone versus
Exactly. Exactly.
yeah. So that's something I in my family we're trying to practice, and when they're not with me, I won't be able to know what they're doing. But
Yeah, of course.
I also think, well, if the podcast is being heard by people who are not in HSA, who haven't learned all this, that's a message to everyone. Let's allow ourselves the 10-15 minutes to have a meal. Really
Yeah.
focus on what you're eating, focus on the
Exactly.
food.
Without any distraction. Yes. Focusing on what we're doing. Yeah. Even when they said that sometimes you get tired when you're doing like chores or things in your house because you're thinking someplace, you are someplace else and you're doing something, and you don't, or maybe you don't want to be there, and it's why you get so tired, but when you focus and you concentrate, like when you are even washing your dishes, you're concentrated. I'm washing the dishes now. You train even your mind to be there
Mhm.
in that moment.
Exactly.
Michelle, if you could rewrite society's definition of success, what would you change?
I would first say, I think there are some other people who have raised this up. Um, and there's some initiatives that people are trying to push to UN. The first thing is, well, let's first evaluate um, the country from GDP to gross national happiness.
Yeah.
That's the first thing, right? What you
Yes.
measure is what you will focus on.
Yeah.
So that's one. And from there, from the big picture, then we go to the different levels, right? From like the people I'm trying to work with and help as in business, in organizations, right? Let's rewrite the definition of happiness
Yeah.
from of success from things like before is money you earn,
Mm-hmm.
titles, all these things, right? To how you feel about yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If you feel I'm living the life that I want, then you are successful.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's that. And then we can also go down one more level, which is to look at your day to day,
Mm-hmm.
right? The success is not the end, right? When I get somewhere, or when
Exactly.
I'm at the end of my life to say, oh, am I living the life I want? Right? Then
Yeah.
we can go to
Yeah.
our day to day. Am I really living this day to my best I
Mm-hmm.
can?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Am I really spending my time in a meaningful way, which is meaningful to myself, right? Or to
Exactly.
the aligned with what I think is meaningful.
Mm-hmm.
So break it down to your day to day so that we can be more conscious about how we are living our day, how we're spending our time, who we are with, and how we want to treat myself and treat each other.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. We are on our last question, Michelle. At this stage of your life, what does happiness truly mean to you beyond theory and science?
Happiness for me, let's just look at in a daily kind of a situation, right? Um, so as I mentioned, I really want to have living my every day in
Mhm.
a um, in a feeling that I lived well,
Yeah, yeah.
right? So I focus on every day that if I am aligned with who I am, if I feel this day is well spent, if I um, feel that I am, um, you know, doing and living, being the way that I'm supposed to be. And at the end, I have my long-term goal, right? I want to teach the science of happiness in universities
Mhm.
for executive programs.
Mhm.
I want to create those programs and teach that kind of programs in order to maximize my impact for the rest of my life. Because, as I said, I focus on helping organizations, workplace well-being. And where do I start? I start with the people who can make those decisions. And where do I find them? Right? Well, instead of me trying to do this sell or trying to consult one company by one company, because it's hard to enter into their programs
Mhm.
because most people don't think about that.
Mhm.
I designed the path. I think maybe through universities they have executive programs. Maybe that's an easier way for me to really concentrate on what I'm good at, what I want to do, versus spending time to do marketing and sales, right? So
Yeah.
that's my long-term goal. I want to create and teach those kind of programs. So I also look at, okay, every day what I'm doing, am I really aligned to my long-term goal? Um, Doing the PhD program that helps me to do more research to help support that kind of program, also to
Mhm.
help to equip me to have the capability to have more knowledge and have more ways to be there to be in a position that I'm able to connect with these executives and talk about these kind of topics to help them change their mindset to change their perspective of business and then they can take actions.
Michelle, thank you for sharing your wisdom, your heart, and your vision with us today. Your journey reminds us that happiness is not something we chase, it is something we cultivate from within. And to our Entre Nous community, may today's conversation inspire you to question, to grow, and to trust your own inner compass. Until next time, with presence, curiosity, and love. Thank you very much. Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you, Laura, and thank you to our audience.
Thank you.